Hello and welcome to the latest update of the sugarcane rainfall outlook covering the far north and northern sugarcane districts. In this issue, we'll look into how the Bureau's Access S long-range forecast model verified for rainfall over the month of July, and then August rainfall today. We'll cover short-term weather watch points before seeing what the Access S and international model rainfall outlooks have in store over the coming months. First, a review of the Access S model performance for the month of July. On the left, we have the observed rainfall. July saw rainfall in excess of 400 millimetres in places, and in the middle that rainfall converted to percentiles. We can see a lot of blue colours there indicating the above median rainfall recorded, and on the right the Access S rainfall outlook for July, issued mid-June with an inset of the skill map. We can see from the skill map top right that the model has low to moderate accuracy at 50 to 55% for Herbert, Cardwell and Mosman regions, increasing to 55 to 65% accuracy for Innisfail, Tully, Gordon Vale and Babinda. The forecast was for slightly higher odds of exceeding the median rainfall for South Johnston and northwards, including the tablelands, with reducing odds of exceeding the median rainfall south of Cardwell. July rainfall across the region was roughly 2 to 3 times the monthly average this year, with totals in excess of 400 millimetres for the month recorded at Babinda and Tully. So the modelling captured half of the story in the northern parts with that above median rainfall signal, largely driven by warmer sea surface temperatures in the Coral Sea, pairing with the stronger trade winds we typically see in the winter months. The other part of the equation that our model didn't capture well was the rain band activity we saw at the start of the month. Models had been forecasting the onset of a positive IOD event to kick in during July, which, if it had eventuated, would have suppressed the moisture available to that northwest cloud band. But the positive IOD also failed to eventuate during July. In fact, we're only starting to see signs of that positive IOD beginning now at the end of August. On to rainfall so far during August, and there's a dramatic divide between the Herbert Valley, where rainfall totals are largely less than 10 millimetres, and regions to the north of Cardwell Range, where rainfall in excess of 100 millimetres has fallen during the month. The rainfall has also been above average up on the tablelands, with 10 to 20 millimetres through northern parts, grading to above 100 millimetres in the south of the tablelands. Looking ahead to the short-term forecast now, and here we have the 7-day rainfall accumulations from 10 p.m. Thursday the 1st of September to 10 p.m. next Thursday the 7th. We're looking at two different models here, the European model on the left and Access G, the Australian short-term model on the right, and we can see a fairly similar forecast between the two of very low rainfall totals across the period. It's expected to remain dry over the next 4 days or so, with some very light shower activity possible from Tuesday to Friday next week, with less than 10 millimetres expected across the growing areas in that time frame. Here we have the Access S forecast chance of exceeding 50 millimetres of rainfall over a week starting from the 3rd of September on the left and the 10th of September on the right. These maps are updated daily with new model data and are available from the Bureau Climate Outlooks page with a number of rainfall thresholds to choose from that you can check in with daily to see how things are trending. On the left, week 1 covers from the 3rd of September to the 9th of September, and we can see a 10 to 25% chance of exceeding 50 millimetres of rain between Babinda to Tully, with a less than 10% chance elsewhere. And the forecast for the following week from the 10th of September also looks dry, with a less than 10% chance across the region for exceeding 50 millimetres. Looking at the September rainfall outlook now, with a chance of exceeding the median rainfall assessed at 35 to 40% for the Herbert catchment, grading up to 50 to 55% for the tablelands, Innisfail and Mosman. The model skill during September is moderate for the Herbert region, with around 55 to 65% accuracy in the past, increasing to a high accuracy of 65 to 75% for areas from Cardwell and north, including the tablelands. This translates into decreased odds of seeing rainfall higher than the historical median for the month of September, as we can see from the lower values of the forecast 50% chance of receiving at least on the left, compared with the historical median map on the right. And to gauge the most likely rainfall range for the month, we delve deeper here with the high chance on the left, the 75% chance of receiving, and the lower chance totals on the right, the 25% chance of receiving, giving us an idea of the possible rainfall spread for the coming month. For comparison, here we have the international model rainfall outlooks for the month of September, with long-range forecasts from the US, Italy, Germany, Canada, Europe, Japan, the UK and France. The colour scheme here is representing terciles, so it's dividing the data into thirds. Rainfall amounts in the yellow and brown colours represent forecast rainfall in the lower third, so a drier than median forecast. White colours indicate rainfall in the middle tercile, so about close to median, and the green and blue colours indicate rainfall forecasts in the upper tercile, above median rainfall. And here is the consensus forecast of those models combined for September, so averaging the model outlooks from the previous page, which leads to a neutral signal along the North Queensland coast, which reinforces the access outlook. And now to the long-range forecast for October to December for a glimpse ahead into mid to late spring and early summer. The Access S model has moderate to high skill for this period across the growing areas. We're seeing a strong dry signal with 20 to 25% chance of exceeding the median rainfall for the region. There are a couple of climate drivers behind this. As we head into late spring and summer, we are looking at high odds of an El Niño becoming established in the Pacific, which should decrease the southerly trade flow along the coast, and a positive IOD is also likely to be underway by this stage. And looking at the international model outlooks for the same time period, we can see that most model forecast rainfall is falling into the lower tercile, so a drier outlook, with a couple falling into the middle tercile or near median rainfall. And the consensus forecast of those models combined for that same time period, averaging the model outlooks from the previous page, shows that rainfall is forecast to be in the lower tercile. If we mapped the Access S October to December forecast of less than 30% chance of exceeding the median into terciles, that would fall into the lower tercile on these maps. So this is reinforcing that forecast as well, boosting our confidence. That's it for this update. As always, check the latest forecasts and warnings on the Bureau's website or the BOM weather app. And please send any feedback through to agriculture@bom.gov.au or complete the survey using the QR code. We'd love to hear from you about ways we might improve the service. See you next Outlook. Thanks for listening.